Tribal House Network. What's up, everybody? BTM, we're back again. We got another commentary for you. I'm Aaron, got Zach here as well, and it looks like we're going to be chipping away at that SAWASPLOITATIon.
The fucking SAWASPLOITATIon, our boy, he's going to fucking shoot his nuts all up in our faces, and it's going to be creamy as fuck.
Zach, why don't you tell them the movie we're doing?
We are doing Final Destination. I really like this series, and it doesn't get the amount of recognition it deserves, I think.
He's been talking about doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I think all the movies in this series are pretty good, with the exception of the fourth movie, which is just called The Final Destination. That one's a fucking turn and a half. And part 3 is okay. But it's made better because it's got my girl in there, fucking Mary Elizabeth, who really should consider sleeping with me. It'll be the best 3 minutes of her fucking life. But yeah, we're gonna do this, and it's dank AF.
Is this the best one in the series, though?
Maybe. I really like part 2 also. We'll talk about them while we're watching them.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're watching this on Netflix for anybody that wants to follow at home with ease. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, play.
Hell yeah.
Is Sawa in part 2, or is this the only one he's in?
Sawa is not in part 2. They ripped us off. They didn't give us that fucking Sawa cock that I wanted to suck upon. And he dies off camera, which is fucking lame as shit. Apparently, I remember when the movie came out, it was like, oh yeah, we were originally going to get Devon Sawa to come back, but we ended up deciding to bring back this other character instead. And so we just killed Devon Sawa's character off, which is funny because the original ending of this movie had Devon Sawa die. And it was basically the whole plot of these movies are a kid sees a premonition of basically they're going to die, them and along with a group of other people. And then they save the people, and then death basically, it doesn't want to fucking just let them go. It comes back for them. And like, it was your fate to die, and you're not getting away with it. So basically, yeah, in the original ending, he ended up dying. And he sacrificed himself to save another chick. And because I forget how it happened, but the way he made it happen, it basically foiled Death's plan, and he saved everybody with giving himself. This poor dog.
So in hindsight, they should have kept that ending knowing he wasn't going to return, had they known.
Yeah. But apparently they showed it to a bunch of people, and the people didn't like the ending. They're like, we didn't want him to die, though. Tony Todd, baby.
It blows me away, too. I was reading something about, gosh, what was, I don't remember what movie it was. It was a movie that had an alternate ending. I can't remember what it was. But basically, they were talking about how audiences, they really like happy endings. These like bleak endings, they rarely ever, if ever, go over well with test audiences. And that blows me away because I always like a movie with a kind of a downer ending sometimes. Sometimes it works. But no, everybody wants the happy ending, always.
Yeah. The test audience process is fucking bullshit. You shouldn't let test audiences decide your movie.
Well, I mean, who are they getting to be in these test audiences? Are they?
Hey, look. Oh, wait. I thought that was the director's credit. You're gonna shit when you see the director's credit.
Oh, is it Alan Smithy?
No, you'll recognize his name, but you won't realize. You'll be like, he was doing movies way back when? I didn't know that.
All right, is it coming up now? I don't want to interrupt. Let's see.
Any second.
It's better.
It better.
No. Glenn Morgan?
After this one, probably.
Okay. No.
Oh, just talk. You'll stop in your tracks, whatever. Oh, here it is.
James Wong. Okay, great. Who's that? It's not James Wan, motherfucker.
Fuck you. See, I was hoping you fell for it because I do every time. Every time I look at it, I'm like, James Wan. I forgot he was making movies back. Hey, look, there's a Pecker poster.
I know. It's the first thing I saw. It's dead center in the shot. That's awesome. and a Goo Goo Dolls poster. It's so funny.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of that, I was talking to Zach before we started recording. I'd like to do The Faculty because recently I rewatched that, and I'll kind of lump this movie in that era. But there was a long time where the thought of the mid to late 90s, it was a big turnoff because I was so over the fucking Creed soundtracks and the frosted tip hair, and not just Creed soundtrack, but it was the era of horror movies with rock soundtracks, right? Of every like radio rock soundtracks, and Creed just happened to be on like every one of them. But I watched The Faculty, and Zach and we agreed that it really holds up, and now I kind of have. I'm okay with having a little bit of nostalgia for that era, and that's one of the better of those. It's like the time and period where Miramax and Dimension were making everything.
Yeah,
but
before that, got caught. Fucking touching them chicks and didn't want to be touched.
Them nugs. Well, you know what's funny though is The Faculty, I think, stands above most of the others because it's really well cast. So even aside from the trendy high school audience, and you have the obligatory R&B singer cast, you know, because I still Know What You Did Last Summer had Brandy. This one has Usher. Yeah, it's
boy, Usher. You got it bad all over your fucking tits,
dude. I
drop those nugs.
I was watching The Faculty, and it had been a long time since I watched it. And I swear every 2 minutes I was surprised. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy's in this. Oh, I forgot this person's in this. Usher shows up. Like, oh God, is that Usher? And Famke Janssen and all that stuff. But besides of all that, like I said, obligatory casting and Dawson's Creek type people and Josh Hartnett, The Faculty was cast really well, right? You got Robert Patrick in a great role as the coach, and BB Newworth as the principal is really good. And God, was that Debbie Reynolds? Debbie Reynolds was in there too. She was the first one that was in the very first scene where BB Newworth is getting attacked, and she's like outside, the door's locked, and she's like, get the key. Yeah, so it's got a really strong cast.
Selma Hayek, it was like the nurse or something.
Well, and that's your Robert Rodriguez connection, yeah. Which that was a movie I'd always forget when I think about Robert Rodriguez movies, and I'm like tallying them up in my head. I always forget to say The Faculty. You just kind of forget he did that, and that was probably came after Dusk Till Dawn. It had to have, right? It was probably the follow up. Did he do anything in between Dusk Till Dawn and that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, here we go. This is they're going to the original title of this movie was Flight 180. And that's the flight they're gonna get on here in a minute. And yeah, this fucking dog. This movie is duh shit. And Aaron's never seen it. He's a bitch.
Naming this movie Flight 180 would have been a death rattle on a franchise to come, right?
Yeah, they basically decided against it because they thought people would confuse it with Air Force One and fucking Con Air and all these flight movies.
Well, that in itself, also just the fact that Final Destination's a broad title that you can franchise, right? It was like, what are we going to do? Make 7 sequels that all take place on Flight 180?
They do kind of stick with, like all the sequels. Like the second one happens like a big car crash, like pile up, and they're on fucking Highway 180 or something. There's little references to it throughout the series. So,
did we ever come to a conclusion as to why Devon Sawa stopped working mainstream? Because he was in a lot of stuff for a few years there.
Probably just the kid image. Who knows? He was like 21 when this movie was made. I was looking up some trivia on it.
Well, and this was the last mainstream thing he did. Well, this or Idle Hands? Which one came first?
Idle Hands was before this. I remember he mentions Idle Hands on the commentary for this movie. I remember I had the DVD and the casted commentary is dog.
Interesting. Yeah, but I wonder why he doesn't really work. I mean, he works a little bit. I watched him in that stupid Life on the Line movie, like I said, with John Travolta, and he's in that upcoming Durst movie. But
the Durst.
But people stopped calling him. You think he would have transitioned all right into adulthood, because a movie like this and Idle Hands, to me, that was like the transition, because we'd already seen him in Little Giants and in Casper and these.
It should have been a transition, but the mainstream audiences are fucking stupid, and they didn't like the fucking Idle Hands. That's a great movie.
So I think of someone like Brad Renfro. Brad Renfro was the same. He was a kid and he was in these movies in the 90s and he was everywhere. He was all over Tiger Beat and all that bullshit, just like Devon Sawa. And he tried to make a couple of movies during this period of his age, and they didn't work out for him. Devon Sawa, these movies were hits. I don't understand like what happened after this. You would have thought this would open the floodgates to part 2. It's not like this was a bomb.
The part 2 took a while to come out after this movie. It wasn't greenlit right away. It was weird. And I remember I remember seeing the trailer for this back when before it came out, like really wanted to see it, but that was back when I was well under 18. And so I needed someone to take me to rated R movies. And I remember going to see, remember that documentary about wrestling, like Behind the Mat or something like that?
Yeah, I do.
I remember going to see that with my cousins, and this movie was like playing in the theater next to it. And I was already kind of growing out of wrestling at that point, and they really wanted to go see it. I'm like, we should go watch that instead. They're like, I've never even heard of that. Okay. But look, there's John Denver's playing. Look, we're seeing them shit. That's funny.
Yeah. You know, his buddy that's, I'm assuming, shitting next to him that they had in the previous scene there, he looks a lot like the guy with the zit in Liar Liar. Okay.
Yeah, he went, John Denver. He died in a plane crash. See, this movie there's multiple scenes where John Denver's playing, and that's kind of a sign that death is coming.
Okay, and John Denver had been dead already, because he died in the mid-90s, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't prophesize John Denver's death in this movie. That'd be fucked up.
No.
All right.
They just made a movie where, in this reality, John Denver died in a plane crash, and then he really did die in a plane crash. That'd be fucked up.
Can you imagine, though, like, when people saw this movie in the theater, it probably gives you the heebie-jeebies coming out of it, like, oh, man, am I going to die on the way home from this movie theater type of thing? What if John Denver saw this movie and he walked out getting the heebie-jeebies, too, and he legit died in that fucking crop dust or whatever?
Yeah. That'd be fucked up. See, he might have died after watching Son-in-Law, that scene where he's listening to Bob Denver and he's cutting some corn.
Yeah, I guess so. That Son-in-Law commentary, that's still one of my favorites that we've ever done. I do love that movie. I'd like to rewatch that. Do they have that digitally? Can you buy that on Vudu at least?
I don't know. Maybe.
I should look, because it never got a Blu-ray release, right?
Yeah, I always love this line here. He goes, that's a good sign. It would take a fucked up God to take this plane down. And then they see this guy. They're like, yeah, really fucked up God. And then they end up fucking crashing and burning. Yeah, God hates you. Fuck you guys. He's just like, fuck you. But yeah, you're going to see somebody else that was big in these movies any time now. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? He's in this?
He's on this plane, you mean?
Yeah, he's one of the classmates. And he's, yeah, you'll see.
Oh gosh, is it going to be like Joshua Jackson or something stupid?
No. Someone else.
She looks like a dime store Alicia Cuthbert, but she's pretty hot.
Alicia Cuthbert, baby.
She's pretty hot too, though.
Alicia Cuthbert's a bub. She's a bub.
There's something on the wing.
Yeah, I watched, did you watch either of the new Twilight Zone yet?
No, I'm confused. Is that on the CBS streaming channel or is it on CBS?
Yeah, they're doing that shit now. See, look, this is where the premonition starts. You're not supposed to know that, but I just let you know. And so you'll see this again later whenever he cuts out of the premonition. I'm giving away all these secrets. But yeah, so I thought episode 2, it's called, an incident in flight, whatever the title is, I forget. But they're basically fucking, since it's the Twilight Zone, they did this pretty, like, decent idea where it's like, oh, we're just going to play with their expectations. They're going to think it's a remake of the classic one, but it just has the same title and it's a completely different. Oh, there he is.
Stifler. Oh my God. It's so funny. I went to bed watching Evolution last night and I saw him like, oh, that's right. He was a thing for like 4 years.
Yeah.
His best movie is still what? The Rundown? Is that movie?
Which one's that?
The Rock, him and The Rock, right?
Oh, okay. But yeah, they basically like, oh, it's not that though. It's just the same title, but a completely different story. This one's about a guy. He's on the plane, and then he finds like an MP3 player that has a podcast on it that's talking about the crazy shit. It's like a true crime podcast talking about the crazy shit that happened on that flight that he happens to be on. And so whenever it talks about the crazy shit going on and it starts happening, and he's got to solve it. Both episodes. I mean, the first one, the comedian, I thought that one was just like, eh.
That's with that Indian comic in it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
It seemed like it had rewrites, and like it started out having this, like you think like, oh, well, this is gonna have this message, and then it doesn't, and it just kind of seems like it kind of like the fucking message I thought it had was better than the one it did have. You should have just stuck with what I was thinking, fuckers.
Hey, really quick, I like how plane sets in movies, the rows always have like 12 seats.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because obviously it's a set, but you've flown on a plane, right, Zach?
No.
Never. Okay, so I'd say the majority of domestic planes that are used on domestic flights, they've got 2 rows and 2 seats in a row, right? There's 2 rows, 2 seats per. And then on international flights, there's 3 sections and 3 seats per section. Look at these. There's like fucking 6. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the most pain in the ass, having to get up and take a shit on that plane if you're in the middle of like 12 people.
Yeah.
So I can't believe you've never flown, man. Is it because of this movie? Did this do something to you?
No, I don't really worry about flying at all. I mean, I don't know, unless I really had to. It might be different if you never know till it happens. But yeah, I just never visited anywhere where I had to fly there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Stifler's in this, as we just noted. That's crazy. Is he uncredited and he's gonna die early? Is he like a bonus, or is he on the?
No, he's credited everything. This movie just didn't fucking have the amount of name recognition that like American Pie did and stuff.
Well, which one came out first?
American Pie, probably.
Well, then wouldn't he have been a marquee seller at the time? Like, wouldn't his name be on there?
Maybe. They might have been making them around the same time, but one of them came out sooner. Maybe this one did. I don't remember.
Have you seen him on that Lethal Weapon TV show?
Nope. Haven't seen any of that. Any good?
I haven't watched it since he replaced the guy that played Riggs, but I don't know. I watched the first season, and it was actually a really good show. Surprisingly good, because I wanted to hate it, because this whole trend of televising these remakes of classic movies, but it was super, super good. And really, outside of the pilot, it had nothing to do with Lethal Weapon. In the pilot, they sort of kind of rehashed the Riggs story. The wife died and he's crazy, and Murtaugh's getting too old for this shit. They do that just to sort of please the name, right? But other than that, it becomes its own thing. And Stifler replaced the Riggs guy because he got fired. And I think he plays something stupid like his brother, something dumb. And I kind of want to watch it again, but then Damon Wayans said he's just going to fucking leave after the season. Like, well, you're not giving anybody incentive to even start watching any of this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But Damon Wayans is real good in it too.
See, look, he's fucking the place got exploded. See, I was reading the trivia before we started this that in this movie, this happened before 9/11. So after all this happens, that he causes a scene, they still take off and leave. But nowadays, if somebody did this, the fucking whole flight would have been canceled, and they wouldn't let it leave at all.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was like, "Oh, the plane's gonna blow up," and fucking freaked out like that.
We got Sean Everett Scott doing his best Kevin Smith cosplay.
Yeah, pretty dog. Kevin Smith, yeah, I would suck his dick.
I bet you would.
I would.
You could find it. You could find it now. He's all tiny and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ali Larter, she was in a lot of movies in this era, but I don't really know where she came from. Like, what made her a thing,
Maybe this movie. She's the returning character on part 2. They've passed down the Sawa for the Ali Larter baby.
What I want to know is, what was going on Sawa's agenda to where he was too good to take this work for a sequel? Like, what was he doing?
No, I think they just didn't ask him.
Wow.
They decided they wanted a different character back because they were talking about bringing him back, but then decided against it.
Okay.
Last minute.
And there's Stifler always being Stifler.
Would you suck his dick?
No, dude.
I bet it's fucking, I bet it's exquisite.
Did you watch this movie Goon he did?
I've still never seen that. My cousin says that's like his favorite comedy.
It's weird. It's like a pseudo comedy. It's not a super slapsticky movie. It's kind of I guess like a dramedy. But that was supposed to be. I guess that was kind of like some kind of resurgence for him. It was an indie movie and it was reviewed well or whatever. It's all right. I didn't see part 2, but it was a decent movie.
Mm-hmm. See, look, they kind of cut it down for time here. The play blows up way too quick than it did in its premonition. Although that's the quickest premonition in the entire series. As the series goes on, the premonition always gets longer. And part 2, see, there's some gore in this movie, but part 2 was like the one that kind of like came out of nowhere and brought gore back in like a big mainstream movie. Because I remember sitting there watching that. I didn't see it in the theater, but like I was at a hotel and they had like, you know how, oh, you could watch these movies that were recently in theater, but they're not out yet. So we paid and watched fucking the Final Destination 2. This is gonna be dark. My whole family, we watched it, and yeah, I was surprised by how gory it was. I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't know if the gore holds up to now standards, but it was pretty dark at the time. But yeah, I remember on the commentary they were talking about like, oh yeah, we wanted to make this like a return to the gory days. Like, yeah, we were tired of hearing that whole, oh, what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. Bullshit, fuck that. And I was like, hell yeah, this is dark.
So I wonder why part 2 isn't an easy pick for you being your favorite then.
I like it. I think part 1's just maybe more nostalgia. Maybe. Mm-hmm.
My dad liked these movies. I know he had, my dad was one of those guys that liked to go to the video rental store and buy stuff that they were selling the used previewed stuff, the extra stuff they had. And he would buy movies all the time. And because my dad passed away before the big streaming revolution, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, my dad was blown away by fucking TiVo. And that was like in the last couple of years of his life. My dad would be shitting bricks if he was in the Netflix generation, and because he was still coming from the era of, okay, I got to buy movies, and if I want to watch a show or something, I have to catch it when it's on. And so I remember he bought the first couple of these movies, I think probably at a Blockbuster or Family Video or whatever, going out of business, and he liked them a lot. He was one of those he was definitely a casual type guy. He would just watch anything, you know. Mm-hmm. But I never watched them.
They're fun. They're basically like slasher. They were the closest thing we had to slasher movies in the early 2000s, but the killer was just an invisible. It was just fucking death itself. Like the killer is fate, I guess. And this is actually the only movie in the series where the fucking death or whatever you want to call it has like you can visually see it because it's like a shadow. While in all the sequels, it's not there anymore. Maybe they just didn't like doing the effect.
Yeah. I have a question for you. So movies, like I said, the mid to late 90s, kind of start of 2000, they all have a very certain vibe, right? You can tell, like I said, just by the way they're dressed, right? Look at Devin Sawa. Look at that he's wearing a t-shirt under his shirt. You can tell what era this came from. Mm-hmm. All right. And a lot of sweaters, right? Mm-hmm. Now, do you prefer the movies from this era, just in general, I'm not just talking about the aesthetic and the way everything looks, but in general, over the way horror movies look now? Because it's the same thing. Each era kind of has a stamp, right? We'll talk about it because I guess we're going to do a cinema enema on it, but the Pet Sematary movie, right? Mm-hmm. We all saw Pet Sematary. I think hopefully Mac will do that with us too. Josh, I think, said he saw it. Did he? I think.
Maybe. He watched the other movie.
He did Dragged Across Concrete. My bad. But anyway, so Pet Sematary, you watch that movie and it's got this thing they've been doing. It seems like they've been doing it forever, but maybe it's only been like 5 years, where every movie is super dingy and bleak looking. There's like a lack of color. And I don't know about you. I don't want to get into it because we'll do a separate podcast on it. But Pet Sematary, it's so dark that you can't fucking. Could you see half what was going on in that movie?
I didn't notice anything. Maybe it was the theater.
Well, yeah, maybe it was the theater. But when he's like walking through the woods and stuff at night and all that shit, it's just so dark. The movie's so bleak and lacks so much color that you could barely make anything out. I'm getting a little tired of that aesthetic personally. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with color. I don't know.
I like that nowadays. It seems like they put more of an emphasis on the cinematography. Like I know, like a bunch of older movies look very flat the way they're filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And that still happens now, but a lot of times it seems like they put an emphasis on it a bit more.
And you like that.
Yeah, if it looks visually interesting, I don't like we're gonna fucking change the color timing and make it look green like the fucking Michael Bay shit. That's annoying.
That's really annoying. But what is it they do? What is the filtering they do on a movie like Pet Sematary? You know what I mean? Like these movies that have that look where everything is just real drab. It's you know what I mean?
Maybe just turn down the saturation or something, because
it's way down.
The original does that too, except they do it kind of more with Church, like the way he looks when he's dead. He looks grayer, but it's not that they down the saturation. It just seems that way because they use different cats for like different shots whenever he's dead.
They use 4 cats for the one in this one I saw in the credits.
Yeah, this new cat doesn't look very scary at all. I think Church looked way creepier than the original.
I was watching some countdown or, some stupid Watch Mojo countdown. 10 reasons the new Pet Sematary is much better than the original. And that was one of them. Church is scarier. I'm like, I didn't think Church was scary at all.
No.
Maybe he was more aggressive. Like they utilized him a little more, but
there's a scene in the movie where Lewis goes to kill Church and he can't because he meow and he feels guilty, so he takes it to leave it in the road and just get in his car and leave. And there was a couple people in the theater that went, "Aw,
yeah, not
because the fucking cat, it didn't look scary. It still looked cute."
Well, and in the original movie, they had that effect on his eyes where he'd have like glowing eyes in some frames for some reason. To me, I get it. Maybe some people think it looks corny. I think it looked pretty creepy. In this one, he just looks like a feral cat.
Yeah,
doesn't look like a zombie cat. He's just a feral cat. But I don't know. They both work, but I have to give 0.1 to the old one.
Me too, yeah. We'll talk about that when we do that movie. And I'm looking forward to it because, it'll be dog. Hopefully we don't have to push it off too long to where we forget shit that happens in the movie.
No, let's, as of this recording, let's do it this weekend. We'll have to get Mac on board, see when he's free, and we'll all 3 do it. We'll have Mac on one.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be kind of a bonus because on the topic of Cinema Enema, Zach and I have committed to doing like a monthly thing because we don't want to get too crazy unless there's a clamor for it. But something like this is sort of timely. You know what I mean? Do you want this to be, because we're talking about news and shit on these, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So is this going to be seen as sort of just like a bonus one? Like, whatever.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, and then maybe we can push off Dragged. I don't know. There's just so many things that I want to do that when we're doing these movies that are in theaters and shit like that and new releases, it gets a little tougher because
we can always record the movie discussion and then tack on the intro later, whenever more news comes out, so it's more poignant to when we release it. Some podcasts do that. We don't got to though.
Yeah. I mean, maybe for Dragged or something, but I think Pet Sematary is so new that we should jump on it now. Mm-hmm. But anyway, back to this movie. Pet Sematary lacks Sawa. This movie has the Sawa.
Yeah, fucking. You think his nuts are sour? Like, you think that's where he got his surname?
I think you say that every time we do a Devon Sawa movie, and every time he comes up.
I can't help it. I just I got fucked out of the chance to meet him at Whorehound Weekend in Indianapolis, and I wanted to tell him, like, Sawa, we talk about you on the podcast. I always talk about how much I want to suck your dick and how awesome it'd be and how sour your nuts must taste. And I couldn't. I wanted to see his reaction to being told that by a big fat fucking retard at a horror convention.
Wait, did he cancel?
Yeah, he had some reshoots to do on this Fred Durst movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm trying to see if I could find Devon Sawa. Does he have an official website?
I don't know.
Trying to look. Did you ever get your Skype to work, man, on your mobile? Everybody doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Fucking, I haven't tried it since the last time.
Man, we gotta fucking call our Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard. She should be a Pokemon. See, that should be a fucking BTM shirt. Part of the Revival House clothing line, the Dank Duds. Fucking have Josh James draw her as a Pokemon, Charizard and Charizard put together. And make it look like it's on a Pokemon card and then put like her attack points and all that shit. Her fucking special moves, like the fucking camel clutch stroke or something like that. She does all these fucking hot ass fucking sex trafficking shit on you. You donk.
All right, so we have the ever so popular funeral scene that was in like every movie ever.
Yeah, they're all fucking scared of him because he fucking predicted the plane crash. They're like, what the fuck? What's this guy? You think they're thinking, oh man, he had something to do with it. He put a bomb on his shit.
Well, it's good to see Stifler dressed up for the occasion, that fuck. Everybody's wearing like suits and stuff, and he's wearing a same ass preppy Dave Matthews sweater. You know what I mean?
That'd probably be. It's like, I don't want to buy a suit. Fuck that. I don't want to rent one either.
Dude, if you showed up to my funeral wearing your fucking Twisted shirt, I would jump out of that coffin.
And do the shimmy.
I'd jump out of that coffin doing the shimmy. If you came to my funeral dressed as Annie Milonakis, looking like him.
See, he's all pissed off. See, you get to see these kills, even though this movie started the whole trend of this series. It has some of the least memorable kills. So we'll talk about that. See, look, there he is. Look at that sweater.
How did the first friend die? Did they show it? Maybe I missed it.
None of it's happened yet. Just the premonition.
Oh, this is a premonition?
This is a funeral for the people that died in the plane crash.
Gotcha. All right. Well, does it seem like there's not enough people there?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if it's
they didn't hire enough extras. They didn't care.
I mean, if it was an entire plane of people minus them, first of all, it sounds like it's just like a wake, right? Where anybody can go because they didn't know the people.
Yeah.
But all right. Fair enough. I'm not going to question it. It's a fucking movie.
Nice job leaving your phone open, bitch.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I never do that too. That's Riverman messaged me.
And did you finally watch that fucking movie?
No, I don't think he did. What? He says, look who... Hold on. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Today's Riverman's birthday, too. While we're recording this, not while you're listening to, because this is live and shit. Yeah, fuck this chair. It's doing that shit now. I gotta get some WD-40.
So, how do we know when he's having a premonition? Does he make some sort of retarded face? Like,
He doesn't have any more. He just gets hunches now. He kind of has a feeling that something's gonna happen. You'll see. You'll see. Yeah, what you been up to, bitch?
What have I been up to? Working hard, man.
Lame.
Commissioned our boy Josh James to do us up a poster for sales purposes of this movie that my buddy Randall and I are doing. And because Randall will be going to Cannes in May to seek the financing and meet with some folks and talk with some folks. And so Josh is drawing us up or painting us up or whatever he's doing. I don't know. I think he's going to be doing a lot of airbrush stuff. I don't really know.
Told him to put big tits on it. That always gets attention.
There's no boobies on it. Randall and I, when we were in Europe, we sort of had a discussion on it. We came up with the concept and stuff and put together all the materials, and then we actually talked to Josh while we were over there. So I guess he's working on that. What else have I been doing? Getting back to normalcy. Like I said, ever since I got back, integrating myself back into normal life here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's funny, when I left, it wasn't hot yet. It was still kind of cool. And then when I got back, it had officially shifted gears and it's just hot as tits outside.
Mm-hmm.
I got to wear short sleeves now. You always have, for me, I always know the summer's here when I forget to wear sunscreen, because I never know when to really wear sunscreen until I get that first burn of the year. And I went out for a run or whatever, and I came back and I look like Hank Hill. I got a farmer's tan from hell right now. I'm like red everywhere.
Dog.
Yeah.
Fuck the sun. The sun's a bitch. If I could do that, I would fucking kill the sun and never let it come back.
Well, if you ever come to Phoenix, man, and you visit here, you'll see that, especially at certain times of the year, I swear 2 out of every 3 people are wearing sunglasses at all times. Because I went out today for a run and I could not keep my eyes open. I'm constantly squinting my eyes just outside running. It's so bright. Like, you do not know a brightness like that where you're from, I guarantee you.
Look how he sat on that toilet. He's like nothing. He just sits down and it just sits there. See, they always do this. They always do like, oh, that zooms into something going wrong with something malfunctioning. And it's like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Then it tricks you throughout the series. It's like, oh, does this have something to do with it or not? I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty dog.
What a weird approach to make, like, fate or whatever it is, or death, the antagonist, because how do you really defeat that? You know?
Exactly.
And so I'm assuming Sawa gets away at the end. He somehow ditches Death. And when you say they killed him off screen in the second one, I'm guessing Death got to him. It wasn't just he got diarrhea and died, was it?
Nope, it got to him. A brick fucking fell on his head.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Not cool, guys. Like he was walking and this like a big brick just falls down. It's like a piano falls down and he comes out at the top of the piano. It should have done that. Fucking dog. Okay, yeah, maybe he does have premonitions throughout here because he kind of maybe I don't remember. It's been a while. Pit house.
How is he? So he's not aware of what's going on yet as far as the dangers and Death following him yet, right?
Not yet. This is the first kill here.
So I have a question. It seemed like at the funeral, somebody was pretty mad at him. Why would they be mad at him if none of their personal friends started dying yet? Don't you think they'd be happy? Like, hey, man, thanks for getting us off that flight.
Yeah, you see the shadow?
Yeah, I did.
So it's like, is it the Grim Reaper? Like, what are they doing here? It leaves it open to interpretation. But they never did that again throughout the rest of the series.
You know what I mean, though? What was that one guy? Why was he mad at Sawa at the funeral, it seemed? Didn't he kind of like get handsy with him?
Yeah, we'll have to watch it without talking over. It's been a while.
So before all this stuff in the Flight 180, was Devon Sawa having premonitions about anything else? Was he a bit of a medium, or was this the first time he'd ever?
No, yeah, nothing like that ever happened. Oh, fucking John Denver. See, is it fucking Crawl controlling the radio stations in this town?
Do you think they consulted the Denver estate to ask him if they could use him as this? Because it's a little insensitive.
They'd have to.
Like, hey, every time someone's going to die. Yeah, I know. Well, they paid for the song rights. I wonder if they knew the full context. So we're not just going to use him for the soundtrack. Every time someone's going to die, we're going to play your fucking husband or whatever, insinuating that he died horribly in that crash.
Yeah, see, look, this is how he knows who is going after. It's pretty clever, I guess. Todd's cool. Fucking Todd. That's Todd. And it is Riverman's birthday, which is dog. It was meant to be.
Oh, fuck.
But Todd's getting ready to die on this movie.
Damn.
So maybe it wasn't. See, this would be a terrible way to die.
But they can't just kill him in a natural way. I mean, an accident like this never happens, and this is the kind of accident that's going to lead people to think he was murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kills him in weird fucking freak accidents like this. Why did it say that? That was creeped me out, the way his eyes do that. The blood vessels burst in his eyes. It's donk.
His dad, that study he's sleeping in, looks like the same room that the dude bit the monkey's neck in Monkey Shots.
Yeah, fucking, that's dang as shit. That's how Todd should have died in this movie. Fucking a monkey comes in and he has to try to kill it with his mouth, but then the monkey gets the best of him. The monkey ends up killing him by putting him in his mouth. The fucking monkey. Fucking shakes his fucking head ferociously and kills him. That'd be dog.
Yeah, so
he should have jacked off while he's hanging there.
I mean, make the best of a situation, right?
Yeah, like if I was doing that, I would have, like, if you knew you were going to die from suffocation, you might as well pull your cock out and start jacking off. Try to come before you die. But then they'd find you like that, but I'm fine with that.
Is that toilet filled with Kool-Aid? That didn't look like water to me.
Yeah, I guess it's just the fucking...
It looked like a Great Blue Dini.
It's whatever you put the cleaner in there, and it makes it kind of bluish. It's dog shit.
Man, I've seen a lot of stuff lately, and I keep wanting to mention it, and I can't, for the life of me, think. I can't. I've been watching a lot of movies since I got back.
That's why you should make a fucking list on your IMDb like I do, bitch.
Yeah, I really need to. I don't even know where you do that.
On fucking IDB.
I might have to start building my real IMDb here soon. I got to do ADR. Did I tell you that?
No.
When I was in Dublin, I did ADR for that other film that he just completed, right? And they needed an American accent, a guy, and I was just right there. So I was in the sound booth of the studio and getting directed and saying some fucked up stuff. So
Did you throw in some revival house isms like that chick be dank AF? No.
I should have.
I danked that hoe to dust though.
Well, there was one part where they wanted me to just sort of whisper stuff that wasn't really going to be audible because it was all going to be distorted. And I was like, so I just started reading off a bunch of Wayne's World quotes, like the whole thing. I did it for like minutes on end. And I wish I would have thought about that. I should have been one long revival pitch, pitching all of our stuff.
That'd been dog.
But yeah, I didn't think about it. But yeah, you got to show me where to make a list of films, and then I'll know.
You just go to fucking IDB and then make a list. Call it movies I watched this year, and then you add them there.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's because you're a fucking soy boy. You're bacon boy. See, well, what's worse, the soy boy or the bacon boy?
What was that one that Mac was trying to make fly? The dry boy?
Dry boy.
Okay. Because the dolphin meme?
Fucking dry boy. That's what happens whenever you don't get laid. You're all dry. You didn't get that dick wet. Fucking incel.
What'd you do this weekend, man, since I bailed on you?
Fucking nothing. I do nothing. I fucking, this is my life. I sit here, whenever you're not recording with me, I don't exist.
Did you get your...
One of those.
Did you ever get a Nintendo Switch, or did you blow your entire wad on that fucking Quantum Leap box set?
I'm still gonna get it. It's just gonna take a little bit.
Oh, you decided against it, huh?
I'm going to, just not right now. She's pretty cute.
Yeah, she's all right.
I'd hit that.
What did you get instead with your tax money?
Just a bunch of random shit.
Really?
The Quantum Leap was one of the things. Other stuff too. I bought my dog some shit. I've been wanting to get her a bed because since my other dog died, she has been not wanting to sleep by herself. So she's been sleeping in my bed all the time and she sheds all over it. So I was thinking I'll get her a bed and then see if she'll lay in it, or if she won't, I'll just put her bed on my bed and she can lay in her bed on my bed.
I see.
Pretty dog.
Gotcha.
And I got her a fucking bone. Is that entertaining enough? We're telling them about the shit I bought my dog.
Well, I thought you were going to get some exciting entertainment stuff that would have been relevant to the topic, but instead you got all depressing about your dog dying.
Yeah, fucking life is depressing.
Well, anyway.
But Devin Sow was here to make it all better.
Hey, you lied to me. You saw Pet Sematary. You did go out.
Oh yeah, see, I do stuff. I just fucking forget. I got, it's in one ear out the other.
When you do go out, who do you go out and see movies with typically?
Usually just by myself.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I went and saw Pet Sematary with my mom though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
I see, what was the last movie I watched with my mom that we talked about on the show? And it was one that had like...
Happiness?
that could have been awesome if I went and saw that with my mom. I would have been like, fucking 4 or 5 when that movie came out.
And she turns to you and be like, Zach, is that the face you made when you came finally?
I would have been 5. I wouldn't have came yet. I would have been like, yeah, Mom, what does that mean? What does cub mean?
And did your dog lick it off a rail and then come and lick me?
Yeah, see, by the time this comes out, maybe that episode will be dropping within the next day or 2. Fucking hit him up, baby.
Oh, what's the last thing you watched with your mom, though?
I don't remember. It was one that had some fucking scenes in it that were like, oh no, I don't want to see this with my mom. This is weird. I can't think of it.
You can't remember it, huh?
No.
Oh, something with like sex?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, it was like Black Swan?
I don't know. No.
That'd be awkward to watch with your mom because there's that whole girl on girl, she's eating her out scene, right?
That scene's fucking awesome.
Yeah, not with your mom though.
I don't care if she's there or not. She can watch me watch that.
Watch you do something else too.
It's a dog scene.
I tried to, man, because I've been on this spiel for a while, but I've tried to get caught up with Joe Bob. Because I never watched the Thanksgiving special or the Christmas special either.
Fuck up.
And so I finally have started to get caught up, and I started the Thanksgiving. I'm just going to go in order and watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But there's something about it. Like I said, the fact that they don't have apps on every platform is a killer for me. The fact that I have to be in front of a PC for me to watch it personally, which is fine. I mean, there's sometimes I'll multitask and I'll be working on the computer and I can watch. That's how I watch that one. But I could have did that today and I just totally forgot about it because it's just so not on my radar. I need to keep Shudder constantly open on my browser or something to be a reminder. But
I would have just already bought a fucking Roku, baby.
What did I watch? No, actually, I got partially into Hills Have Eyes too. Yeah, so
the Candyman.
What?
The Candyman, Tony Todd. This is his scene.
Oh yeah, his one scene.
He's a recurring character on the series too. He's the coroner who kind of puts some fucking perspective on what's going on. Like, oh, you cheated death, and now death is back to get you, bitch. It's got to be dog.
How does he know this? Where did he get this information?
He's just pulling it out of his ass. He doesn't know. He's being poetic and shit, but it just happens that he's right in this instance.
What do you think of them remaking Candyman, Jordan Peele?
They shouldn't.
I'm sure he's producing it. I doubt Jordan Peele's directing it, but
make a new shit. Let's just stop with the remakes for a while.
It's dumb. Well, Pet Cemetery, we went and saw it. We went and put money in Hollywood's pockets this weekend for a remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it qualify as a remake if it's based off a book? You know, is it just another adaptation? I think it's a little different.
I don't know. Technically, the original movie was more of an adaptation, more of a faithful adaptation to this one. And, ironically, that's the only screenplay Stephen King actually wrote himself. They never let him do it again for some reason.
And this one was more of it did seem like a remake to the movie itself because there were so many nods, even down to remaking the Ramones cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, and all the little nods, the fake outs.
Yeah.
Right. The fake out truck scene where they make you think, and then the fake out scalpel to the Achilles scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are clearly nods.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, no more remakes, man.
I'm looking forward to recording that episode, though. I want to talk about that movie.
Yeah, I really, really do. And it's doing everything in my power not to talk more about it on this episode because I just want to.
Mm-hmm.
There's just certain things I want to vent about.
Just blow that nut all over the people.
Yeah.
But we can't. See, here's one of the more memorable deaths from this movie. It's been parodied multiple times. And you've never seen it, so fuck you. You'll see it now.
Who's it been parodied by? You sure I haven't seen it?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you because then you might guess it. So I'm going to wait till it happens and then I'll tell you.
It's going to happen right now?
Later, before this entire scene is over.
Okay.
But yeah, let's listen to the Sawa, man. We got to get him on the show. We just got to fucking, we want to blow our nuts on the Sawa.
No, I mean, we've already been over this. I mean, I think we totally could get Devin Sawa. We moved away from having guests, right? I don't know if it works for our show anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, if we had Devin Sawa on the show, you would not be Zach. You would be probably a little nervous. You'd probably, we would start formatting the show to cater to the guest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we came up with kind of a solution, right? Well, if we had a guest on, we could always just do like a pre-interview chat with them first and then do the,
mm-hmm.
and do it as bookends or whatever and actually have the commentary just be us. But I don't know. It's like, okay, so maybe Josh doesn't want to talk about it. Being how Josh said he's going to get a particular guest on the show,
mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. I think maybe for them, that's a good thing. That works, right? Because, Josh tends to be a little bit more informative and they talk about the movie. we could get the same guests. We could do guests. We used to do that. I just don't think it's fun, personally. And I think and for us, I just think it's needless. It's not stressful. It's just, I don't know. It's just a few more obstacles that don't make it fun, right?
Yeah. One
more person scheduled to go around, and it's dumb. I mean, because I'd view it too. We'd both be afraid of saying certain things.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to tell him I want to take his nut.
Yeah, I mean, you would absolutely not say that. You'd be like, so did you suck his dick? Like, what? Anybody that wanted to come on our show, we'd have to preface or we'd have to soften them up by giving them a couple episodes. Like, hey, look, this is what we do. When Zach makes a pedophilia joke, he's not serious. You must understand. Stifler would get it.
Sean William Scott Bush just fucking bit the dust and no one cares. They're just like, whatever.
That's another thing, dust. Can you imagine getting some kind of guest like that was a little bit older and out of touch, like Robert Englund, and all of a sudden you're talking like an idiot and you're not speaking language? Like, oh, Robert Englund, I thank you to dust. He'd be like, my meme, thank you to dust. He'd be like, what's a meme?
I fucked your holes numb, Robert Englund. I fucked your holes numb.
So I think that stuff is cool. I think interviews are cool. I'm happy with the idea of doing that stuff when we go to Crypticon, doing video, because that's the stuff that people really want to see anyway, is the video interviews.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for like 5 minutes. That stuff's fun.
This is great. Watch this. Look at them tits.
Wait, that's been parodied?
Yeah. That's been parodied like a fucking clockwork. They did that at the end of the first Scary Movie. I think they do that in every fucking Scary Movie, actually.
I didn't think that was a direct parody off this. I just thought it was a general someone getting smacked with a bus. I mean,
it is a parody off this movie, yeah. Which that's become a cliche too. Is like a car makes no noise until right before it crosses paths of the camera. That doesn't happen in real life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was more of a cliche than anything, not a direct reference to one particular movie.
No, this movie kind of did that. That was kind of the kill everybody remembered for this movie when it came out, because it was like, oh, it came out of nowhere. Fuck that. That was a good shock scene.
Hey, same thing with the new. Sorry, I'm gonna drop another one. The new Pet Sematary. That fucking semi came out of nowhere, and I'm thinking,
exactly.
In the first movie, you could hear it coming, and they even showed like clips of him driving. They didn't hear that big ass semi coming. Nobody heard it.
There's no way. Yeah.
There's nobody heard this big ass fucking big rig coming down the road.
It happens when they first move there too. They're pulling in, and then all of a sudden the jump scare.
It's a jump scare.
Yeah.
It is just, yeah, it's exactly, that's actually more in line what I'm talking about. That jump scare. I'm like, she didn't fucking hear that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
See, look, now he's seeing what caused the plane crash. It was this fuck up in something, and basically he's realizing that, oh, all the people are dying in the same order they died by premonition. So now he knows who's next, baby, and he can try to stop that.
He looks like he's getting into all the conspiracy theory stuff, like Jim Carrey in the number 23. He's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking. Building 25 or whatever. It didn't fucking. Nothing hit that. Nothing hit that.
Did you ever see that movie, the number 23?
I saw it in the theater.
What did you think of that movie? I never watched it since, and I kind of forgot it existed until I brought it up just now.
Yeah, I was just like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I was looking forward to watching it. Then I watched it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Never watched it again.
It had Virginia Madsen, though, from Candyman, full circle. Whoa.
Exactly. I'm fingerling. Top secrets.
What?
Yeah, that's who wrote the book that he's obsessed with, by Top Secrets.
But I think that's, after that movie, I mean, that's what the song, if I'm correct, I think the Tool song 46 and 2 is about. 46 divided by 2 is 23. It's about the number 23 and all that bullshit. I mean, that's like a real thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of that until that movie came out. I never heard about this obsession with the number 23.
It's dumb.
Yeah, why 23? Because it's just this number that you can divide all the shit, and then it always links back to 23. You can do that with any number, though.
So, who's this chick? She looks a little old to be in college. Are they college kids or what?
She was the chaperone, like a teacher.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And she's next on the fucking death's list, baby.
Zach, if you ever got advanced by one of your teachers when you were in school, would you have gone for it?
Fuck yes.
Man or woman?
Fuck yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, like that teacher I had that used to fucking, like I'd come in late with my friend and be like, yeah, we went to the bathroom. He's like, why do you need him to go with you? Is he holding it for you? I'd be like, fuck yes, he is.
Did he really say that?
It takes 2 fucking hands to hold my cock. I should have just said that. I would have got in trouble, but it's been a great comeback.
You know, silliness aside, though, do you think you probably would have been more like Garth? Yeah, if you would have been a nervous kid. If a woman teacher was like coming on to you, trying to rub on you and stuff, or she asked you to help bring out some supplies to her car, and then she offered to give you a ride home, and then, you know, she stopped a few blocks short of your house and then started rubbing your inner thigh.
I'd have been dog. I would have cummed.
Probably. You probably would have came in your pants.
I would have. No doubt about it.
No evidence, right? No evidence of foul play on the teacher's part because she didn't really do anything. You could have came on your pants before you got in her car.
Fucking exactly. And it would have been dog. They would have found some that seeped through my pants on the driver, the fucking, shotgun seat, though. I've been fine. And I could have just played it off like, yeah, she molested me.
Did you and Mac end up recording a couple of nights ago?
Yeah, we did. Our boy Lucas, Mac went over and was with our boy, and we did Scumbags 4, Scumbags in Space.
Interesting.
Scumbags is the episode we do whenever we're not doing a movie and we're just talking about random shit.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll take a while to come out, though, because I gotta fucking edit it into something that resembles a fucking episode. So we were just all over the place, talk about everything.
That's cool. You talk about this Lucas guy a lot. Has he ever recorded with you guys?
We've called him on the phone once.
I've heard that.
And that's it. Yeah.
Is he the director or no?
Cinematographer, yeah.
Cinematographer. Does all the commercials and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
John Denver. Where can I stick this?
They couldn't have used a few more musicians. They couldn't have used like fucking Leonard Skinner. You know?
Yeah, some of them died in a plane crash.
They could only afford one artist. Is it the same John Denver song over and over? I can't hear it. Is it the same song?
I don't know. I don't think so. They were trying to make John Denver cool.
They could have played La Bamba. They could have played Big Bopper. They died on a plane.
Yeah.
They could have did Crazy Train, Randy Rhoads. He died in a plane.
Mm-hmm. They didn't think about it. They were like, we don't want to blow all this money on all these different ones. We're just going to get one. Because we can only point one out. So we got to hit that one home. We got to keep beating that one. Pretty dog, really. See, you think it's a shortcut, but I think it's just proves how great they are.
So why are they interrogating him, Sawa?
Why wouldn't they? They think he fucking knows something. I think you just guessed that plane was gonna blow up, and now your buddies are dying. Fuck you. You're in on this in some way.
So he was doing the science behind it, but they determined why the plane blew up. Do the authorities know why the plane blew up?
Yeah. Just some fuck up. They probably think he might have done something.
How did he do something?
They're gonna have to cover their bases, baby. They're going to have to cover their bases. They got to talk to everybody. But yeah, she's next, and it's gonna be pretty fucked up. She's going to get fucked.
Oh, you know what I watched yesterday, man?
What?
I watched a couple hours worth of old Our Gang shorts, you know? Little Rascals.
Oh, yeah.
Like from the 20s and the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was laying in bed and I got to watching them because they had some on, I think Prime. And I was having a gay old time laughing at them. I think they're pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're pretty racist, I've heard.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard there's one where...
that colored boy. Like,
yeah, there's one where I forget the black kid's name. What's his name?
Well, there's Stymie, there's Buckwheat, there was...
it's Stymie,
okay.
Yeah. He's like cooking something, and he's getting all sweaty, and he wipes his brow, and then it shows like black ink hitting the wall. Like he wiped the black off of him. It's like, what the fuck? These fucking guy, what the fuck were they on?
It's got some of that old-timey humor, of course, like, you know, the white people and the parents and... calling them the coloreds and stuff like that. But that aside, it was actually really revolutionary because it was the first show of its kind. And I think the first show for a long time thereafter, that was a nasty fart, dude.
That was donk.
But anyway, it was the first show for a long time that displayed whites and blacks playing as equals.
Exactly.
But besides the stuff they would say and the jokes and stuff in there, they were portrayed as equals. No one was calling them derogatory names. They were in the club. The teachers treated them as equals. It's pretty interesting.
Miss Crabtree and shit.
Yeah, Miss Crabtree.
She was hot in the movie.
Daryl Hannah?
Yeah, was that her?
Yeah, I don't think Daryl Hannah's very attractive.
She was hot in the movie.
She got a horse face.
She was a hot teacher. That dress, though.
Oh, what else? Yeah, it's so funny to watch a show that's that old. Like, literally, it's a show that your great-grandparents were probably watching when they were kids, It's insane. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff is definitely a product of the time. Like, the teacher, Miss Crabtree, I watched one short where Miss Crabtree picked up the kids. Like, she was picking them all up for school. There was no school bus. Which is kind of rapey. And
cool.
And Chubby, he's one of my favorites. Chubby, the little rascal?
No.
He's morbidly obese, dude. Google a picture of him. Google a picture of Chubby from the Little Rascals. And
has he got a full-on robot Chubby?
Dude, he's just got a full-on everything. He's fucking about ready to pop. But anyway, they're waiting for Miss Crabtree to pick him up, and he comes up to the rest of the friends waiting at the stop, rubbing his ass. And he's all like, oh, my dad, like, he almost missed it. My dad gave me a tearing or a licking or something like that. And they're making jokes out of it. And then when Miss Crabtree pulls up, she was like, Chubby. And she's calling him Chubby too. Like, fuck, okay. That's just his name. He's morbidly obese. Please look up a picture of him. Anyway, she's like, he's like, I believe it's your turn to ride in the front seat, Chubby. And he's like, oh, gee whiz. He's like, he makes a joke about his dad tearing his ass up. And then the teacher straight up laughs. Like,
what if that was a cry for help? What if he was like, oh, my dad really, he fucked me and tore my ass open.
And so Chubby doesn't want to sit down. So he hops on the side of the car. He's standing on the side of the car, holding onto the side of the door from the outside, riding on the fucking car on the open road. And this kid's just smiling, riding on the fucking car. It's ridiculous. Like Marty McFly.
This kid's dank as fuck looking.
He's fucking huge, is he not?
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Why wasn't he in the fucking Little Rascals movie? That's fucked.
Well, there was a ton of them, man. That show ran for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ton of different Our Gang kids. And I guess they just picked they just picked a certain few, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a fat little shit.
I'd fuck him.
I wonder I wonder when he died. He probably lived to the ripe old age of fucking 19.
Fun fact, the kid that played the fucking original Alfalfa is from my hometown.
Is he really?
Yeah. That's one of the only things we're fucking known for.
Didn't he die in like a shootout? Is there some kind of controversy with him? What happened? How did he die?
I don't know, but I just remember like all the schools we grew up in had a fucking picture of Alfalfa on the wall. Like, he went here.
Why do I have the feeling like he somehow ended up on the wrong side of the law? I'm going to look him up. Alfalfa didn't come till a little later. He wasn't one of the originals,
Oh.
He was a little later. But I'm going to...
Oh. That's a pretty effective kill. So why'd you grab that knife, Sawa? You fuck up. I'm definitely gonna think you did it.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, so Carl Switzer, who as the scrawny, saucer-eyed Alfalfa of the Our Gang comedies made America laugh, came to an unhappy end. He was shot dead over $50.
Probably in his hometown, right?
He was shot dead... No, it looks like it was Thousand Oaks, California. For Tom Corrigan of Thousand Oaks, California, that night stands out like young Alfalfa's cowlick. He was just a few feet away from Switzer when the fatal shot was fired. Blah, 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 blah. That sucks.
What a way to die for fucking $50. $50. He could have shaken his wee and got $100. If only he would have done that, he would have been able to pay the guy back double.
Riverman, we went to school with this guy that... either right after graduation or maybe he dropped out the year of graduation. he beat an old man at an ATM to a bloody pulp and killed him. You know,
what the fuck?
For literally just whatever he grabbed out, maybe $50 or whatever. And it was funny because he was a black kid, right? And where we went to high school, we didn't live in that part of town where most of like, you know, the minorities were or whatever. So our high school had not that many black people, right? Let's just say that. And our district, a lot of it was middle class. And I knew for a fact this kid, he lived in a middle class, nice neighborhood. He didn't live in the fucking projects, right? But somewhere along the way, getting a little older into his teen years, he felt a need to get into the crowd with like the other black kids or whatever. And a lot of them were like more street. And I don't know. He just sort of fucking lost his way or something in the last year. And yeah, he went to prison. And he's since gotten out though. I guess he's totally rehabilitated. I don't know. I've seen him on Facebook and he's all smiles and everything else. I'm like, good for him. Bad for the family that he, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I knew another guy. He was a really nice kid. His name was, well, I'm not going to say his name, but he was a real nice kid, but he was in the punk scene, right? He was in the punk clique and not like the Blink 182 shit that was popular. He was into Rancid and stuff, right? He had a big old fucking mohawk and he wore like,
they were pretty popular too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, well, he was more, like I said, he was probably more Misfits than Blink 182, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, he had the whole thing going on. He was wearing the Chucks and the long fucking striped mismatching socks and the big ass gauges before. I think he had big ass gauges before I saw anybody with big ass gauges. And he was a super nice kid, though. He ended up dropping out of high school, like freshman or sophomore year. And he joined a violent street gang. And this guy ended up having like a Charlie Manson X carved in his head, 666 and all kinds of shit. And I mean, it was totally different image than his punk rocker, you know, bass playing in the bands. Totally different image. And
he sold out, man.
Dude. Anyway, he ended up going to prison because he kidnapped a guy. And over the course of the kidnapping, he shot him in the foot or something, whatever. So he went to prison for that, right? Kidnapping and assault with a deadly weapon. Mm-hmm. But when he was in jail, he's still in jail because when he was in jail, he got pegged for a few murders or something like that.
Well, fuck him.
And so he
ain't no fucking punk.
He
went from being the guy that wanted to stand out and fucking walk on his own path and just became the fucking definition of a follower, a fucking gang member. Fuck him.
Well, dude, I looked up pictures of him online and he's basically a full-on white supremacist.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck him. He can suck my dick.
He's never getting out of prison because, like I said, he got tried and convicted of murders while he was in prison for the first one, and he's in there for life. I don't think he's never getting out. If he doesn't,
you should get him on the show.
Call in from his jail cell.
You do a deep in with a white supremacist that's in prison for the rest of his life.
But he's full on American History X. I saw pictures of him like in prison and stuff like that, and he's, you know, prison jacked. He's got a bald head now, and he's got swastikas and shit everywhere and tattoos. And
they really fucked it up for people that are losing their hair. Like you can't just shave your head and just be a guy that's losing their hair now.
Yeah.
You might be a white supremacist.
Dude, I'd like to talk to that guy, though, sometime. Do a deep end with him. I'd like to be like, hey, man, what happened to you, man? Where'd you lose your way? That'd be weird talking to him because he's been crazy batshit white supremacist murderer for longer than he was not now at this point. Because he dropped out of high school when he was probably 15 max. And now it's been like almost 20 years. So, I mean, I used to know the kid. And I looked at that picture of him that I saw of his like mugshot in prison. And I'm like, man, I know I used to know that kid, but he's like a feral wolf now. If I was stuck in like a fucking prison cell with him for a day or in the yard, like, dude, that guy's probably, he wouldn't give two fucks. He'd probably still be trying to rape my ass.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's a white supremacist. Maybe his first day in the pit, some black dude with a huge ass fucking cock just fucking tore his asshole open in the shower. Broke his fucking back in half too. That's hot to think about. I'd jack off to that.
I bet. Speaking of which, we got a round out our furlong exploitation, I can't believe we still haven't done American History X. I can't believe we've done Zombie King of all fucking things and still haven't done that movie.
Yeah, it was autistic of us. Why do we do that?
It was a fun commentary, but
Fucking autistic of us. We're fucking stupid.
dude, my throat is sore.
Yeah, I know why. And you know why, but we're not going to say it on the podcast because we don't let people know. We'll let people know what we were doing before we press record.
When's Stifler going to die?
Next, actually. He's got a pretty cold death. Exactly, fucking Stifler. Fuck you. You're a cunt. You fucking let your boy get caught with his fucking dick in a pie and shit. He deserves to fucking die like he does in this movie.
Did they finally stop making those damn movies, The American Pie?
I don't know. See, I think they need to make one more. It needs to be American Funeral. It needs to be like, oh yeah, your friends get back together when there's a death, in, like their class or something, and you gotta bury a friend. That'd be a dank one. And there's already a fucking song that they could put on the soundtrack by My Chemical Romance that would just fit perfectly in the soundtrack because they always put the punk songs on the soundtrack. It's always a good time with the American Pie movies. You got the soundtrack with the pop music on it. It's a dark fucking film.
Yeah, I think that movie didn't have. I know it had like Blink-182 were in the damn movie, right?
And the first one, yeah. And fun fact, they credited Blink-182 with their original lineup. So fucking Travis Barker isn't credited as the drummer. It says Scott Ryder, who was their original drummer, and that's just fucking hilarious. Fuck Travis.
Which album did Travis Barker come on?
In Above the State. Their like third album.
Oh, so he wasn't on Dude Ranch and stuff?
No.
Do you have a preference?
Travis Barker's probably the better drummer.
Did you listen to him when he was on Rogan?
No.
It was interesting.
You talk about the plane crash and see they could put some Blink-182 in this movie. But the plane crash didn't happen until after this, and he didn't even die, so they couldn't.
Final Destination, dude. He's probably still running from it. Hey, so on our last big bully commentary, can I start reading some comments, Zach? Can I? Ha.
I guess you fucked hard.
William Lowry, which he said, wow, who knew Rick Moranis comedies equaled crank calling late 40s escorts? Rick would be proud, or not. Which, by the way, we gotta find some resolution to that. He said, speaking of the movie Us, did you catch the reference to Chud at the beginning of the film, Aaron? I've read you can see the VHS for it on the wall somewhere. Maybe this means Jordan Peele will be doing a Bud the Chud remake after the Candyman one. Ugh, I hope not.
Bud the Chud's a better movie than Chud.
Also, have y'all been watching The Last Drive-In on Shudder? It's been pretty good so far, and Joe Bob's coming to my state next week to do his panel on the history of rednecks in cinema. Very excited. I already kind of talked about that earlier.
I haven't gotten to watch any of them live yet since they started doing the Friday ones because I've been busy both Fridays. But I've been catching it up on it. It's donk.
Yeah.
And I can watch it on my TV because I ain't a fucking beta like Aaron. I bought a Roku.
Well, I think they finally put those fucking things on the Amazon extension for Shudder, which, go figure, that doesn't help me none. I mean, I because they don't sync, right? They don't acknowledge my Shudder subscription on my Amazon account. So,
why?
Because they don't.
Fucked up.
It's fucking stupid.
See, look. He's getting ready to he's like, oh, yeah, if there's some death plan, I'm going to fucking throw a wrench right in there because I'm just going to fucking kill myself. And they're trying to tell him not to. They should just let him. It might work.
How about he gets out of the fucking car?
Yeah, well, he tries to, but it's fucking welded shut, basically. Death wants them dead, baby.
Damn. Well, at first, was he trying to save the car, though?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, dummy.
See, they do this fake out here where it's like, oh, he gets about just in the nick of time, but if you watch the movie, he gets fucking hit. Like, watch it. There's no way he got him out of there.
I'm watching.
It's like the editor fucked up.
So
he really hits next, baby. He's gonna get fucked up.
Do they really have? Oh yeah, dude. There's no way he got out of that. And that explosion.
Yeah, the fucking editor. And then we just see him like, oh no, we're fine. We're here.
Isn't it funny how locomotives, they've been around forever, and their technology has only grown so much, right? It seems like they're more or less the same.
Yeah, you think they'd put some sensors on there to like fucking respond with the fucking train track itself, and it knows if there's a fucking drunk laying on it or something, touching it. See, look, here's Sean William Scott's death. It's pretty good.
I've seen this, actually. I'm getting deja vu here.
You might have seen it on like a documentary talking about horror movies or something.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I don't know.
What a performance. What a performance this guy is busting out.
Yeah, you're not taking me with you.
Yeah, I've seen this.
That's funny.
That looked nothing like his head.
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They were like, oh well. See, this is the least gory in the series, which is weird. Yeah, they upped the gore factor.
Adrian Mendoza on Big Bully, the Omega, he says, I love the voicemail at the end of the commentary. Zach, thank you for introducing us to Charizard Morgan. Aaron, that is a spot-on impression of Charizard. Was there a huge mark across your brother's shirt? He's referring to the fucking cum on my brother's shirt.
Oh, look at that, dude. He pissed his pants. I never noticed that.
Who?
The fucking character that he pulled out of the car. I never noticed that he pissed his pants.
I'd give him a pass on that.
Yeah.
I'd be shitting my pants. Yeah, so Adrian, there was a huge mark, a huge fucking snot-looking smear across, but it was jism, so it was pretty fucking gross. Aaron, if I go to Kansas City Crypticon, I want you to shoot your spooge on my hairy chest.
Fuck yes, I'll watch and jack off.
No, I take my hat out of the running. It's not gonna happen.
That jism schism
Ain't gonna happen. But
I ain't gonna die.
I ain't gonna die.
I ain't gonna die.
But, we'd still welcome you there. But that's not going to happen for me. Zach, I think's down. But
fuck yes.
On the Last House on the Left commentary, getting some love. We got a listener by the name of Osmosis Jones. Is that supposed to be Asmosis or Asmosis?
Osmosis Jones, that's a Fairley Brothers movie. Remember that movie?
Did they direct that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, with fucking Bill Murray. He just, out of nowhere, was in a movie. And it was that movie.
Yeah, I watched that in my 8th grade biology class.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, as Moses Jones, he says on Last House on the Left, I'm not sure these guys yet. Okay, there might be some broken fucking dialogue in here, so I'm just going to read it as it reads here. I'm not sure these guys yet the subtle, I'm pretty sure I'm not sure these guys yet the subtle Manson family vibes from the characters or how the film is about violence in Vietnam, but it is clearly about those things. Okay, so we meant get, which is where this and Texas Chainsaw came from. Just exploiting the bitterness of Nam and the gross nature of violence and ignorance and bad government officials and just everything.
You're a fucking liar. That movie's not about Nam. You fucking liar. It's about fucking retards that rape some chicks. They don't even mention Nam in the movie. Because fuck you. You're lying to me.
Is there anything to this, though, Zach?
I don't know. Yeah, what's going on in pop culture always influences movies. Yeah, I'm just being a fucking contrarian, just for fun.
Mm.
Here's a fun fact I read. I guess our boy Sawa was a vegetarian or something while they were filming this, so that's not real meat he's eating. It's a mashed banana. That's not even a good trivia thing. Who cares?
What is it supposed to be, though?
A fucking canned meat.
Canned meat.
He's like, he's held up in this fucking shack, and he's like death-proofing it. He's like putting fucking styrofoam on all the sharp edges and shit. He's waiting out the death, baby. Not styrofoam. That's not biodegradable. But other stuff.
Dude, just kill me, man. What a way to live life, you know?
Yeah. You'd have to die doing something cool, like fucking jack it off on fucking movie Train. Speaking of a train, that'd be dog. See, look, here's the great scene where he gets his Oscar. He talks to death. He's like, "Hey, you fucked up, fuck you," or something like that. Pretty genius. Only a great actor like Devon Sawa could sell, having a fucking dialogue with, this disembodied entity.
Hey, random question. So when I went and saw Pet Sematary, I went to go take a piss, and I guess I missed a I missed a Child's Play trailer. Was it a different trailer that I haven't seen?
I didn't see a Child's Play trailer.
Okay, so maybe they didn't have it at yours. It's probably one I've seen.
Did you see that James Gunn brother or something movie? Like James Gunn's brothers, or like there's two Guns that made a movie. It's like a anti-superhero movie. It looks like.
I've heard about it. So Sean Gunn is his brother. That's probably who the other one is.
But he also produced it too.
Okay, I've heard about the idea in the movie, but I haven't seen any footage.
I'm a fan of James Gunn. I hope he makes something else too. Like, you ever watch Super?
I never did watch it.
I put that on my list of movies to do for Cinema Edinburgh. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd totally watch it. So even though you hate these comic book movies, you still never watched Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, to me, it's the best of all of them, though. I think it's a lot.
I thought it was okay, yeah.
I think it's fun.
I didn't watch the second one yet.
Hey, so Mutineer, our boy Mutineer, glad to see him commenting on the weekly here. He obviously found our Texas Chainsaw Massacre commentary and left us a slew of commentary here. He says Ed Gein, or whatever his name is.
Gein.
The grandfather of horror classics after horror classic. Franklin never annoyed me, he says. Dude was supremely frustrated, trapped in a chair in 110-degree heat on a trip where everyone was going to get laid but him. No wonder he was in a mood.
You don't know that. Somebody could have fucking twerked on his fucking his not working legs. Just to fuck with him even more. That would have been funny.
He had a good point. I mean, he's got a good point though there.
Yeah, but I don't like Franklin, so I don't want to take into consideration his feelings. Fuck him.
Poor old Franklin. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's annoying.
You know what though? You said Ed Gaines. They should make a fucking a fucking powerlifting thing where you get them Ed Gaines and fucking you work out and it makes you want to fucking rip a woman apart and wear her skin and shit.
I didn't say Gaines with an S. I said Geen or Gain. I said there's no S on the end.
You get them Ed Gaines. It's got to be a fucking Revival House shirt, too.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Like, we have his face on there.
Some kind of pun with the Butcher of Plainfield. It'd be like the fucking the Lifter of Plainfield. Get them Ed Gaines.
Or we could do like a jacked body with Ed Gaines' head. The Ed Gaines. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's an easy shirt.
Be donk.
It's easy exploitation to make a buck off some murder. But you know what? You know how it goes. It's well over 100 years old, so it's fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say here. He also says, Mutineer, I first saw this at 8 years old after sneaking out of bed and hiding under a couch, secretly watching it under the clueless grown-ups. So I totally bought the quote-unquote true story claim. What an unending nightmare. I still think that's how everyone should first experience this movie. As much as I like part 2 for its cartoony fun, I'll always like the first one better. There's still...
Yeah, you really need to watch that movie when you're as young as fucking possible, really. Because if you hear all the hype about it and how people build it up, there's no way it's going to live up to the hype.
But you know what? There are still people, like filthy casuals, right? That do think it's based off a true story. There's people.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to numerous people in my lifetime where they're like, oh, it's so scary because it's based off a true story. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, fucking Psycho is based off the same guy, and that's more of a more accurate representation of the real story.
But even that, they're not even going off the whole loosely based off the notion of something some guy did. No, they're like, oh, this really happened. Like some people are that gullible, right? They believe whatever TV tells them, or if a marketing for a movie says based on the true events.
That was a thing for a while. People were like, oh, like the fucking Last House on the Left starts out with a thing saying that this movie's based on a true story. And people just like, oh, they can't say that if it's not real. But yeah, like Wes Craven and Sean Cunningham were like, we're going to put that at the beginning of the movie. And Sean Cunningham's like, can we do that if it's not real? And he said, who the fuck cares? And they did it.
And people believe it, though. People are like, oh, they take it to the bank. Let's just play around and say it really was based off more or less true events. You still don't think Hollywood would have taken liberties? You think all of this is like verbatim?
Mm-hmm.
But some people are like that. He also says it took several years before Lebowski clicked with me. Okay, we were talking about Big Lebowski and how I don't like it very much. Once it did, though, it became one of my favorite movies. The Coens' real bad patch was intolerable cruelty and the Lady Killers. I didn't hate the Lady Killers, honestly.
I like fucking weird ass comedies like that. If I ever made a movie, it'd be like a dark comedy like that.
Did you see the Lady Killers?
Oh no, I'm talking about a little bit Big Lebowski. Lady Killers. I remember the trailer for it. Did it have like Damon Wayans or something?
It has Marlon Wayans.
Marlon Wayans.
Tom Hanks starred in it.
You ever see the time Marlon Wayans and his brother Sean Wayans hosted the VMAs?
Don't think so.
It was fucking. It was amazing because it was like right after the original Scary Movie came out, or fucking maybe the sequel. But so they were on top of the world, and basically like, yeah, if you watched it live, they fucking bombed. Like every joke they told didn't get a single laugh. There was like some weird awkward chuckles. It was just completely dead silent. The biggest laugh they got is at the end whenever he showed his ass, which kind of made it seem worse, like they were fucking just failing, and so he had to pull his ass out to get a laugh. But then every time they reran it, including the time right after, like, because they always do an encore presentation, they had already added laughs into their jokes.
Jeez.
So unless you saw it live, you didn't see how bad they were doing.
I wonder if the live version's on YouTube.
I don't know. I remember I was watching it and I was like, I didn't record it, but like I was like, man, I should have recorded this. They're doing terrible. And then so whenever the encore comes up, I'm like, I have a tape ready to record it. And then I'm like, they added laughs. Fuck you.
That's weak.
It was the worst thing ever.
Big bully commentary, man. Bradlesnake, Bradley Taylor. He says, I never thought you guys would do a commentary for this movie. Congratulations. Like,
that movie dank me to dust.
I wonder why we're getting congratulated.
Why wouldn't we? We're the fucking kings.
No.
See, that fucking movie came out, The Kings of Comedy. We're the kings of comedy. Fuck that. Those guys. No one remembers who any of those guys. Cedric the Entertainer. Who? Fucking it's Zach and Aaron. They're the kings of comedy.
Bernie Mac. That motherfucker's dead. Next.
Yeah. Exactly. We fucking took the throne. And then just the old royalty has to go at that point.
Hey, and then David Capper also commented on Big Bully. He does a timestamp here. Let me, without playing it, I wonder if you know what he's talking about. So he did 3654 equals confirmed for incest Illuminati.
What was that on?
The Big Bully commentary.
I don't know.
He says, good to have you guys back. Let me see. I'm going to click on it. Let's see what he says. Background. It's got like what looks to be like a zoomed in schedule. Like, with the guy she's going to fuck, September 12th, you know, just... Oh, when you started talking about the Illuminati day before September 11th, you started going to your fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, thanks, David. It's good to come back with a recent recording. Like I said, I mean, we were still putting up shit, but it was all backlog stuff.
And anytime we could bring it back to incest and the Illuminati, it's always a plus. See, this is how he originally died in the original ending. He grabbed this to fucking stop it from killing her, and it fucking fried him. We see his burning body. It was pretty dark. Fucking sour on the Barbie.
And she was always meant to survive, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And they should have just ended it like that because she's in the sequel and he's not.
Is he literally just part of a throwaway line that they killed him on?
Yeah, they show like a crime scene photo of like you could clearly tell it's not really Devin Sawa. They just had some stand into it. It's like that guy doesn't have a big as dick as Devin Sawa. I would know that fucking cock anywhere. I fucking dreamed of fucking filleting that shit plenty of times.
All right.
See, I just kept that joke going, and then sometimes I do that. Like I just keep a joke going because I assume you're gonna chime in and bail me out, but then sometimes you don't.
No. I want to read on our Pet Cemetery commentary, the Mutineer. He left us a slew of commentary on that as well. So he says, hanging is more cinematic. The housekeeper basically serves the function that Judd's wife does in the book, which makes you wonder why they just didn't leave the wife in anyway. See, that's okay. I'll give you.
See, I kind of like that change though. Yeah. They basically make the housekeeper do it. Probably because they wanted her to commit suicide to add to the dark tone. Because I really like that about the original movie. The fucking just really depressing dark tone it has.
But do you not see me? To me, I think that's one of the small things I can say the new one did right by getting rid of the fucking housekeeper arc.
See, I thought the housekeeper was fine. She was there just so that whole line happened where, where she asked him about death. See, we could talk about that on that movie, but that is one thing. They got to fucking Zelda way quicker. Almost to the point where it was. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about. I have stuff I want to comment on that as well,
Yeah.
and just the overall pacing of everything that was more or less copy pasted. The pacing was woo. But anyway, I don't know. I could always take or leave the housekeeper in that first one, but
Yeah.
he also says, this movie is an odd combination, amazingly dark and morbid, especially for the time it was made, and weirdly hammy and over the top. Makes it seem a bit tasteless at times. The remake looks like it's going to be mindless jump scare city, though, so it kind of was. It kind of was. Let us know if you saw it, Mutineer, by the way, and maybe you'll want to hear our cinema anima on that particular movie as well. He says, in the book, Pascal can't come back after Lewis begins to ignore him. He never helps Rachel. Blame King's sloppy screenwriting, or the cocaine, he says, for screwing up his own story. Pascal totally gets her killed. Plus, the dude playing Pascal is having too much stupid fun hamming it up.
Yeah, see, Pascal really fucked up in the new one because he's like, oh, I'm here to warn you. And then his warning is really fucking vague. Just like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck was he supposed to gather that from you just say, the ground sour? Pascal's
such an afterthought in this new movie. He's really just kind of like thrown it. They might as well just wrote him out at that point.
That whole warning just served as a fucking jump scare. That was one of the jump scares.
Yeah,
it just showed his leg get grabbed and he yelled at the camera.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking dumb. Mutineer, he also says, pretty sure Dale really did hit his head on that table on accident and they just used it. Is that true?
Maybe. Hey, look, Allie Larder as a blonde or brunette. Which one's better?
The blonde.
She's a blonde in the second movie.
Yeah, she's definitely better that way. Yeah, I don't see how they could have faked that head bump he did when he fell out of bed or whatever. It looks pretty legit to me.
Probably, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So he also says, I don't know where this is coming from. It has to be relevant to what we were saying. He says that cat schools Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah. Were they competing?
Fuck it. It's like that movie, what's that movie where Chuck Norris is playing, a cop and he's got a dog partner? The fucking dog outacts fucking Chuck Norris in that movie. So the cat could probably school Pauly Shore in acting off.
Who was in that movie with the dog partner, K9? Oh, Jim Belushi? Was that Jim Belushi?
Yeah, that's a different one.
That was a whole subgenre for a while there, right?
Exactly. Fucking Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch, I believe, popularized it. You had K9, and not to mention you had the little kid duo like Cop and a Half, and
I love that movie.
I still never watched it. We should do Cop and a Half sometime.
It's a dog movie. See, look, this is after the fact. He's like, you know what? Technically, we might still be fucking in the hands of death because, see, if I did this and this and this, it would have skipped me. And so, technically, yeah. So basically, they think it's over, but he's still obviously fucking obsessed with this shit.
Is the dude with the black hair? Is he in the sequel, or does he die at the end here?
You'll see.
He's gonna get it.
So technically, yeah, Alex, which is Devin Sawa's character, he's like, I am technically next. And yeah, this was setting up the sequel that didn't happen because fucking none of the cast came back except for Allie Larder.
Wait, so the guy with the black hair doesn't die?
You'll see. I'm gonna keep it Bill and Ted it up. See, look, he's singing a fucking John Denver song. Country road, take me home. That's a dog song. Not in this movie, though.
Okay, so it's going down, right?
It's going down. It's like that fucking song with the guy from Linkin Park.
What?
It's going down, exactly.
Makes you think of that insufferable band 311 song, Down.
Drink a lot of K, dumb, dumb. Know that we'll always be down, down. That's surprised we do it down.
That's the only word I could describe that band and their fans is insufferable.
Come original, you got to come original.
Oh.
I remember Mac was into that band. Never got it.
I bet he was.
That fucking band had Mac written all over it.
And fucking Peanut
turds.
All right, so we're gonna kill the black hair guy. Come on, die.
180, flight 180.
Is that what it said?
Yeah. I told you were next.
Look, you can always tell the way it's shot, you know when they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Oh. Alrighty then.
Hell yeah, that started the series, baby.
Yeah, obviously I'd have to watch it when I'm not doing a commentary, but I still don't think it's my cup of tea, you know?
Oh, you fuckboy. Our Planet is on Netflix. That's dog. You ever watch those, just like Blue Planet, all that shit? You just turn those on every once in a while.
No, I've never seen it.
It's just fucking fun to look at.
Hey, we got this listener by the name of Mr. Foxer. They commented on our It's Pat commentary, and I don't really know what he's referring to when he says, that guy sounds like he's dying.
Yeah, you see, he's having a fucking premonition like Alex in this fucking movie we just watched. He knows one of us is fucking on death's fucking list.
Is he referring to you or me?
I don't know. We could always try to intervene though and get it to skip us though.
Hey, Mr. Foxer, if you're listening to this episode, let us know, man. Who's dying? Hey, I'm going to end it off here with another Rattlesnake comment. He commented on Big Bully again. He says, could you please do a commentary for Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil? It would mean a lot to me.
Why you gotta ask for Prom Night 4, the one I haven't seen? I like Prom Night 3, and I like Prom Night 2, but no, Prom Night 4.
I ain't never seen Prom Night 4 either, so maybe. Put it on the list, man. It's been a while since Final Destination's been on our list here. I'm glad we're getting this one off, you know?
Yeah, I'd like to get this movie off. I'd like to get Devon Sawa off in my mouth.
You know what other movie's been on our list for a long time that we still haven't crossed off?
What?
Fucking Alone in the Dark, man.
Yeah, we need to do that.
We need to get to that one.
I kind of want to watch that before, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, too.
So I can accept all the intricate, like, shittiness of it.
Doesn't that movie have Stephen Dorff in it, or is it Christian Slater?
Yeah, I think both of them, actually.
Oh, gosh. All right. Horrible. All right, well, hey, so, Zach, what's coming up on the agenda we should tell all these fine folks about?
We gotta do fucking, I can't even think of what the show's called now. Cinema for Pet Cemetery and You Dragged Across Concrete. You decided what your next official pick is yet?
No, I haven't, just because we have these other two coming up, so I guess I have time to think on it. But I have a short list.
We should probably let people know before we record so that they could add their movie-based questions.
Well, I mean, it's okay. They got time because we got these other two we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about it. We'll let everybody know.
Oh, but look, I'm seeing Final Destination 3 with my baby on it. Oh, I just want to splits all over them tits.
Dude, this is like, these recommendations, it's nothing but a treasure trove of these shitty movies. Final Destination 1, 2, 3.
These movies are not shitty, fuck you.
Hostel, Ghost Ship. There's I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's all these
Butterfly Effect.
All these things. Scary Movie, Scream 4, all that stuff. Texas Chainsaw: The Beginning. Hey, Poltergeist is on here. I need to look to see what they've updated and put up on here. Friday the 13th. Is that? Oh, the remake. I'll have to check out what they've got on here. But anyway, yeah, and also as far as Cinema Enema, as of this recording, Happiness is now live, right?
It might come out after. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll probably come out after it because I'm thinking this is I'm getting my days mixed up. So check out Happiness. That's the newest Cinema Enema, and that movie's fucked up. And it's Cinema Enema. If you guys still aren't familiar with it, they're not commentaries. They are discussion podcasts where we're breaking down a movie after we have watched it. So that's definitely one I would suggest. If you haven't seen it, watch it first because it's a mess. It's just ridiculous.
It'll dank you to dust.
It's so funny because we were talking to Josh James of R Rated, and when we told him we did Happiness, he's like, that's awfully fucking different than doing Blade Runner. I'm like, well, you can tell. I said, if we keep going forth with this thing where we rotate who picks the movie, I think that contrast is going to keep persisting, right? You're going to like Blade Runner to fucking Happiness. You can tell it's going to be very obvious who picks what movies, I think. But that's the fun of it. So also, I think we'll have probably real soon, we'll probably have that other Deep End go up, right, in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
We'll space those out a little bit. That'll go up. That's a really good one. And do we have another Hard to Kill podcast? I know we still have Roadhouse, the Hard to Kill podcast. That one's live. Do they have another one in the pipeline as well?
I'm not sure yet.
I'm not sure. Those are coming out about monthly, though. Those are pretty cool. Have you guys recorded? I know you said you recorded a Shoot the Shit, a Scumbags episode of Mac and Zach. Do you guys have any other traditional commentaries in the works?
Not right now.
The Scumbag episodes are fun, though, so you guys will like that. And what else do we got? I don't know. We got some more recommendations we got to get to. There's different things that I want to do. I was thinking about having a Universal movie exploitation, doing at least the four or five classic Universal movies. I think those would be a trip to do. And also, I think we need to get to, we had the request of doing the Jerry Stiller episode of Tales from the Dark Side. That'll be a fun shorty to do. Other than that, beat it like a dead horse, beat it like your grandmother,
shake it like a Polaroid picture.
If you guys are watching us on YouTube, fantastic. Like, subscribe, share us with your family, your kin, all that good stuff, your friends, and make sure you guys are checking out the descriptions below where you can follow us over to our podcast network links. We're everywhere you want to be, man. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, most likely we're going to be there. So if you feel so inclined, click one of those links and give us a listen over there. They typically go up earlier than they do on YouTube anyway, and they're just more podcast friendly. I mean, you guys aren't looking at our stupid fucking faces. Why are you guys listening to this shit on YouTube anyway, if you guys are? I don't get it. But leave us feedback over there, a nice word or two, or even just like a 5-star rating. That stuff's amazing. And lastly, just going to keep reminding everybody, we'll be at Kansas City Crypticon, Riverman, Zach, and I. I guess Mac might not be going.
Fuck him.
Well, I mean, he's kind of got a job opportunity that might get in the way of that, so I totally get it. That's really rad. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But I could say 100% Zach, myself, and Riverman will be there, and that is July 12th to the 14th. We need to somehow scrounge up some cool shit to bring. We'll be definitely doing a podcast here in the next month or in 2 months, Zach. We're going to start doing the planning for what we're going to be doing there and what's going to go down. So... Other than that, that's all we got. Zach, any final words?
I fuck and love cubbing in socks.
That's good for me. Bye-bye, puppets.
End of the week at the Revival House. Next month's theme, you gotta figure it out. Italian zombies or Pauly Shore. A slasher with a knife and the girl next door. And 1 second in, get it all queued up and ready, hit play in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Zach Pete in a solo cut band. Couldn't miss Cameron's love and Josh and Scott failed and Riverman's babe. Bye bye puppets. Sounds good, like this country used to.